My name's Sean Arbuthnot and I'm a Prevent Coordinator based in Leicester in the UK. Prior to that I was a police officer for 12 years and I work in the field of Prevent, which is part of the UK government's counter-terrorism strategy. So in Leicester what I do is I help oversee how the Prevent programme is run. I link in with local partners like the police and the local authority to make sure that Prevent is delivered well in Leicester, that vulnerable people are supported and that various projects are put in place to build resilience to radicalisation amongst our communities.
Could you let us know how do you tackle radicalisation in your work, in your day-to-day work, and what are the biggest challenges you face?
What we do at the end of the day is all about trying to safeguard vulnerable people. The way in which we try to do that is first of all through bespoke care and interventions for people who are vulnerable to extremism. And they can go on a voluntary scheme called Channel, which is all about putting in place wraparound care and support with that individual. It could be help with education, help with finding a job, mentoring, life skills, any number of things. But in addition to that, alongside working with vulnerable individuals, we also try and build resilience to radicalisation amongst our communities. And we do that by putting in place various projects, whether they're workshops for schools, whether it's sports engagement with a local football club, and we try and put those things in place in order to encourage people to have critical thinking skills, to be able to talk openly about issues, to have confidence, and to promote tolerance and respect for diversity, to prevent people from, I suppose, being indoctrinated into extremism in the first place.
And what's most rewarding about your work in tackling radicalisation?
It really is such a rewarding job, I have to say. And the most rewarding thing for me is when you see a positive difference that you can make in the life of just one individual. I've worked with countless cases of young people who were on the very edge of society, very close to committing acts of violence, who received support through Prevent and who have turned their lives around, and they'll quite openly say that Prevent saved their life. I've worked with people who were at risk of travelling to Syria. I've worked with young people who were white supremacists and believed that a race war was on the horizon. And through the support they received through Channel, and in particular the mentoring that they received, they've since, turned their lives around and they've got a much more positive outlook on life. And when you see that really clear, positive change in someone, it's so unbelievably rewarding.
How has RAN helped you so far, and is there anything more you would like or expect from RAN?
Being a member of RAN and coming to the various meetings and engaging with other practitioners from all across Europe is a really good way in which we can share our good practice from the UK, but it's also a brilliant opportunity for us to learn from others about their experiences. And what I love about it is that it's such a supportive environment because we can be open and honest with each other. And so it's not just about promoting the good work that we do, but it's about sharing our failures and our fears and the things we didn't quite do so well. And it's about having those humble, honest conversations in a safe space where we can actually support each other without judging each other, and make sure that we can learn from each other's experiences, because at the end of the day we all want the same thing. We all want to keep people safe, and that's what RAN's all about, for me anyway.
Is there any city which is like a model in tackling radicalisation, a city in Europe?
I would say Leicester, the city I work in. I think we've got I'm not biased or anything, but I think we've got a really good model for tackling radicalisation because our Prevent strategy is well embedded, and it's led by the St Philip's Centre, which is a multi-faith community centre in the heart of the city. So we can be, although we have close links and partnerships with the local authority and with the police and other agencies, we can still be quite independent, and we're seen as very credible and very trustworthy. And I think that's a really good model for preventing radicalisation that other places can learn from. But there's loads of examples from all across Europe. I'm very taken with the Aarhus model in Denmark, for instance, and we're always keen to learn from other countries, I have to say.
And is there anything that RAN is not currently doing but you would be expecting to do?
Well, I'm encouraged by the fact that RAN is taking more of an interest in far-right extremism, as the meeting that we're at today demonstrates. Because for me, that's been an issue for quite some time, and it seems to be on the rise, not just in Europe, certainly in the UK. And so I'm really pleased to see that RAN is beginning to take a stronger focus, I guess, on far-right extremism. But other than that, the only other thing I would say is just keep up the good work, and that even if we end up leaving Europe, to please continue to invite us to your meetings because we get a lot out of it. But I just think it's important that whenever it comes to countering violent extremism, that we look at all forms of extremism and not just focus on one particular ideology or one particular community, and because in some respects, different types of extremism feed off each other. So as long as we take a rounded view and look at extremism as a whole, then I think we'll be on the right track.
This was Sean Arbuthnot, Local Prevent Coordinator at the St. Philip Centre in Leicester in the UK. Sean took part at a meeting of the RAN Local Working Group on far-right extremism on a local level. Please visit the website of the Radicalisation Awareness Network to find more information about its activities. And stay tuned for our next monthly interview podcast.